Google may have just destroyed the iPhone 14 with the new Pixel 7a, and today we're gonna compare everything from the design, the speakers, the display, the performance, and more. Seems like Google's finally listening to their users, and they packed a ton of cool features into this phone. Now it costs $500 compared to $800, so that is a big price difference, but I think you guys will be surprised. Now right away, I like this size. The screens on these are the same, but holding it in the hand, it feels really comfortable. Let's compare it to the iPhone that has these flat edges. The iPhone actually feels thicker compared to this subtle curve. As far as the design, you guys let me know which one you think looks better, but I will say that Google did a great job. The previous Pixel A series phones felt kind of cheap. This one feels ultra premium. I like how the camera bump is actually color matched to the color of the phone, and the glass on the back actually curves into the frame like the upcoming iPhone 15 Pro. Now I do think that the iPhone's camera bump looks better, and with that, we're gonna be doing another blind camera comparison with these two phones and another mystery phone, so make sure you guys click that subscribe button. And turning it on, look at those bezels right there. I thought the phone looked bigger with the same size screen, and now it makes sense. Now the Pixel has an under display fingerprint reader, which is really nice for a budget device. And of course, the iPhone has Face ID, which I think is a little quicker, and I do prefer it. Now, as far as the detail of the screen, they both look excellent. They have a very similar resolution, but the Pixel actually has a 90 Hz display compared to 60 Hz on the iPhone, so you guys could see that it is smoother. Now, what I'm curious about is the brightness, because that's a way where companies can save some money. And look at that difference. The top camera's probably blown out. The iPhone has a way brighter display, at least indoors. In the sun, the Pixel kicks up its brightness, getting close to the iPhone, so it looks like they are limiting that for the purpose of battery life. Now, in terms of HDR video, the iPhone smashes the Pixel, having much brighter brights where it just pops. The shadows also have more detail. I mean, it looks a lot better. But what about the speakers when you're actually watching and listening something? Let's go ahead and compare them. Well, you guys heard that for yourselves. The iPhone is louder and it sounds better in every single way. So sorry, Pixel, you cannot compete. But what about performance? Now, the base iPhone for the first time has 6 gigs of RAM, but the Pixel budget has 8. It also has the same G2 processor like the 7 Pro, whereas the iPhone has the A15 Bionic. Let's run the new Geekbench 6 and see how they compare. And look at that, that is a massive difference. We have a difference of 63% in terms of single core and a difference of 70% in terms of multi-core. And this is last year's processor. Now, with that said, the smoothness on the Pixel is just fine. It can handle everything, but if you're gonna keep it for many years, that's where you will have an issue. But what does make a difference today is gaming performance. So I have 3D Mark opened up right here, set to the unlimited mode. That way the resolution is the same, and let's see the difference. And look at that, once again, we have a difference of nearly 70%. So if you're a gamer, the Pixel 7a isn't really a good choice for you. Now, what about the general speed? So let's go ahead and open up the YouTube app at the same time. Loading, bam, iPhone just slightly faster, not by much. And how about web browsing? I have speedometer 2.0 right here. And not only does it test browsing web, but loading up JavaScript and a bunch of other tasks. The iPhone is done. It literally did that in less than half the time. And wow, my goodness, I was not expecting that. We have 351 runs per minute compared to 96.4. So the iPhone is more than 3.5 times faster. So it is definitely snappier than the Pixel. With that said, the Pixel does have some cool software features that you won't get on the iPhone. So Google is definitely optimizing for the software experience, whereas the iPhone has satellite connectivity. So even if you're in the middle of nowhere, you can have a connection and be safe in emergency situations. Now, as far as the battery life, the Pixel 7a has a battery that's about 30% larger than the iPhone, which is awesome. But with that, the display has that 90 Hz refresh rate and it is not variable. So in the real world, the iPhone will actually do slightly better. And on top of that, it's actually surprising that the iPhone can have faster charging. It will support up to like 26 watts, whereas the Pixel is limited to 18 watts. And the Pixel, for the first time, has wireless charging built in, but it's capped at 7.5 watts compared to up to 15 with MagSafe charging on the iPhone. As for cameras, Google made a big deal about the Pixel's new 64 megapixel sensor compared to 12 on the iPhone. And here we have a shot of Vadim. You guys let me know which one looks better to you guys. I'm gonna zoom in right here. And to me, surprisingly, the iPhone looks like it has more detail. Of course, it's stacking with deep fusion. Now, where I think this is really gonna help is for zoom shots. So I have a zoom shot right here, and both of them look terrible, zoom the same way. Now, I can't actually see the address right here, where here I can't, but I thought that 64 megapixels cropped in would look a lot better than 12. I am honestly shocked about this. Now, as I mentioned, we are gonna do an unbiased blind camera comparison where Vadim and Angelica are going to choose which one looks better without knowing which phone is which. We're also gonna throw in another surprise phone, so make sure you guys are subscribed for a lot more shots. Now, for the ultra wide, this is the only camera that is both 12 megapixel. The iPhone looks moody, but if we zoom in here, you can see that the Pixels definitely looks nicer. And for our last shot, we have this portrait selfie of me. The Pixel looks a little nicer with more contrast, but the background is more blown out. And then looking at the face, the iPhone definitely looks more detailed. So make sure you guys have notifications enabled for that full unbiased comparison. So with all of that said, does the Pixel destroy the iPhone? Well, I thought it would smoke it. But after looking at everything, the iPhone is clearly the winner in terms of hardware. The Pixel has a couple things that are better, but it wasn't as big a difference as I expected. Now, with that said, still a great phone. This thing costs $500 compared to $800, and the build quality and feel is fantastic for a phone of this price. So you guys let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Click that circle above to subscribe and check out one of those great videos right over there.